All Hail Biafra! This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
So a man who comes and tells you, even before an election, that it is my turn, a Milo Khan, and he gets around to achieve it, you can imagine what he's capable of doing. And so we're not surprised all the time when Alexander Stubbs, the president of Finland, was hobnobbing with Nigeria's deputy president, Laji Shetima. We were not surprised when every other time Finnish you know, international representatives, especially those of them who is in the international relations aspect, were hobnobbing with Yusuf Tuga, Nigeria's ambassador, Nigeria's foreign affairs minister. They were hobnobbing with Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, Nigeria's minister for external affairs, Minister for State for External Affairs. We saw a whole lot of movements, continuous persistent movement, intermingling, yes, intertwining and integrations, between Nigeria and Finland. And of course, we were not surprised when on the 1st of September, it was a conviction galore for our own Simon Ekpa. Yes, everybody was aware, even the deaf knew, even the blind could see that a lot had happened under the bridge. There was a concerted effort by the Nigerian authorities. And when Emilio came and said, yes, this man, this little boy, Simon Ekpa, he thinks he is smart. He thinks he can talk to me anyhow. Does he know who I am? Has he not heard my stories? Who is Simon Ekpa? Or he thinks because he's in Finland, you can denigrate my country. Does he want to stay? Does he know the kind of foot he's trying to step on? How dare he touch the tiger by the tail? That was what Emiloko said. And when he said it, a lot of people thought, people just felt, well, this man, you don't know Finland is not Nigeria. You don't know you can't bribe people in Finland. You don't know you can't promise anything in Finland. You can't buy them mansions anywhere. Those people are people who operate under strict guidance, under the strict guidance of the rule of law. There's no opportunity for manipulations. So, Mr. President, you better calm down and let the course of the law take its turn. But of course, Emiloko could not be undone. Emiloko said, look, I am the Jagaban. What I say is law and final. I have said it, that Simon Ekpa must pay. And when he's fully arrested there, when he serves his sentence, he's going to come to Nigeria. We'll make sure he's extradited to Nigeria and we'll give him a double portion. We're going to give him a double portion. I assure you that. I have said it. If I didn't say it, then my name is not a Melokon. I'm the man who said, it is my turn. And everything I say comes to be. Haven't you heard my records? Don't you know who I am? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Biafrans, we thought it was all a joke. We thought this man was clowning himself. But of course, come 1st September 2025, indeed, we saw that Alexander Stubbs, Finland, had kowtowed. Yeah, they had bowed to the Jagaban. Finland had bowed to the Jagaban. Finland had convicted Simon Ekpa against internationally recognized practices of law, against international stipulated trials in matters of this nature. Finland condemned and convicted Simon Ekpa because, of course, the Jagaban had told them they must do it. Because, of course, the Jagaban had told Alexander Stubbs, the president of Finland, you must do it. And, of course, when Jagaban tells you something, of course, you know a whole lot of goodies, a whole lot of fantastic promises, which, of course, will involve a very big wallet. So the wallet spoke, and of course, Simon Ekpa was convicted and put the whole Biafrans, the whole house of Biafra were put in a melancholic mood. But ladies and gentlemen, rather than derail us, rather than befuddle us, rather than, demotivate the Biafran spirit, one of the first things that our able, sagacious leader, fearless warrior, Simon Ekpa did was to send a message. He sent a message to Biafras. He sent a message to the USB, the United States of Biafra, and they said, "Don't weep for me, Biafrans. Don't weep for me. No, this struggle is not over. It is not over until it's over. Don't shed your tears for me. Don't cry for me, Biafra. I will come out of this bouncing, laughing, and on tops. Nothing can derail me. Nothing. Nothing can put me under. It doesn't matter how many below come. It doesn't matter how many. It is my turn. It doesn't matter what the Jagaban does. Yes, he has infiltrated Finland. Yes, he has bribed. Yes, he has settled. Yes, he has promised. He has promised. And now, here I am. But don't weep for me, Biafra. I will come out of this hale and hearty. It's just a matter of time. Ladies and gentlemen, before we knew it, there was a lot of commendation from the government side, excitement galore for Nigeria. People were screaming, yeah, yeah, finally, shame to Simon Ekpa, shame to Simon Ekpa. He has been arrested, he has been convicted, tried and convicted. He's in jail, 6 years, 6 years, shame to him. We thought it was just the ordinary people. We were surprised when the military, the chief of the first staff, General Christopher Musa, came out and said, wow, wow, this is the best judgment I've ever seen for many years. Finland has blessed Nigeria. This is the good news, best news we have had in a long time. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this Simon Ekpa is history. Yes. And we have arrested him, and as soon as he finishes 6 years, 6 years in Finland, we'll bring him down to Nigeria, and he'll be sorry. We'll make life miserable for him. He would hate himself. He would never again, even in his wildest dream, even if he was drunk, mention Biafra anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, we were still thinking about what General Musa was saying when his own kit and king, the IPOP people came out. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma Powerful and this group came out and said, we don't know Simon Ekpa. We have no business with him. He's neither with us. We don't know him. We don't care what happened to him. We are happy finally, whatever has happened to him in Finland, his 6 years conviction is good riddance to bad rubbish. Ladies and gentlemen, we thought that was all. Ohaneze came out. The same Ohaneze that was supposed to be a body of all Biafrans, a body comprising people of Biafran extractions. All of a sudden, Ohaneze came and they were jollificating and they were excited and they were praising the government. Yes, finally, Simon Ekpa has been convicted. Yes, we like his arrest. Yes, we like his trial. Yes, he's been convicted for 6 years. That means the Southeast will know peace now. From now henceforth, everybody in the Southeast will be listening to the government. It will no longer be a question of listening to Simon Ekpa. No more of his audios, no more of his videos. Simon Ekpa is history. Government, Nigeria, you have won. For sure now, 2027 is a reality for the Jagaban. No more Simon Ekpa to tell anybody, don't vote. No more Simon Ekpa to tell anybody, sit at home on Mondays. Simon Ekpa is history. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the news all over the social media. This was the excitement. This was the jubilation. And of course, Biafrans, people like us who love Simon Ekpa, people like us who knew Simon Ekpa, who knew that, of course, he spoke for justice, who knew that Simon Ekpa represented the downtrodden, who knew that everything Simon Ekpa did was to announce, explain, propagate, and duly itemize the plight of the Biafrans. That these are people who fought a war they were first forced to fight between 67, 68, 69, 70. A war that was declared at the end of the day as no victor, no vanquished by the then head of state, General Yakubu Gowon. He's still alive. He's still alive and kicking. And yet you said no victor, no vanquished. You continue to, apply all kinds of wickedness to these people. You frustrate them in their business. You frustrate them in their daily life. You took their properties and called it abandoned properties. And yet, you said, no victor, no vanquished. You came up with the 3 R's, the reconstruction. You're going to reconstruct all the, destroyed buildings and edifices or institutions. You're going to rehabilitate. Yes, the war has ended. Everybody will be rehabilitated. Come back. And then, you said you will reconstruct, you rehabilitate, and you reintegrate. The reintegration, what did you do? You gave the Biafrans a pattern, a miserable 20 pounds, no matter how much they had in the bank, no matter how much they were worth. You gave them a miserable 20 pounds, believing they were going to die and remain beggars for life. But of course, we serve a living God. Every time I say this, I remember what it was like for our fathers, for our mothers, for our uncles who were given 20 pounds, despite their monies in the banks, despite their worth as at that time. Family men giving 20 pounds, whole families giving 20 pounds to spend it and to die. Ladies and gentlemen, this was what Simon Ekpa preached. This was what was the message of Simon Ekpa. And this was a message fully articulated and endorsed by our own maximum leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yeah.